I'm in Spain with Bike World and I'm going to ride the 2024 Triumph Daytona 660. I'm going to find out if this revamped 660 engine continues to hold the Daytona torch against a very competitive middleweight series of sports bikes. So we've just left the hotel. This is the Triumph Daytona 660, the 2024 model. It is the revised Trident engine, 17% more horsepower. Triumph have chucked a bit more oomph under it, given it a sportier chassis, tipped the nose in, brought the tail up, given it some beautiful fairings, given it 3 rider modes: rain, sport and road. I'm going to be in sport mode for today. I guess I can cut immediately now to what it's felt like getting on this bike instantly and dealing with, you know, this is morning traffic in Benidorm with people, I don't know, fighting their way to the beach. And I've literally just stepped onto this bike and I've got, do you know what, I'm kind of upright, I'm not forced on my wrist, I've got great fields of view and I'm just mixing in and out of traffic, trying to figure out, you know, which lane I'm meant to be in. And it's instantly kind of agile. I'm already kind of chucking it around, so the bars have got that kind of wide enough to give that agility and flexibility if I want to think about, you know, I'm commuting to work. I've got a bag on my back, so, but I don't notice that I have, because I'm kind of upright, you know, I'm choosing to ride this with good field of view. My feet are just underneath and ever so slightly behind me. I can feel the tank nice and snug, kind of between me and the seat. It's on, it's neat. So you know, I've just got on this and it's instantly rideable for, you know, immediate everyday road riding conditions. Take this bit of road all to myself. Now this is my Sunday joy. Hey, there she stops. That's 2-finger braking. You know when you see those wiggle signs, bends up ahead. This does feel like this is middleweight Daytona territory. So we've just stopped for lunch. I've had about 3 hours on the Daytona 660, and I do notice the difference between the Trident horsepower and now the 17% upgrade on this one. Like, those engine changes have made a huge difference. They've really pushed all the more air through it. It's still a sporty ride, so I've still got a little bit of pressure on my hands and a little bit on my lower back, nothing too serious, but I have just been, yeah, thrashing it, and on immediately sitting on it. You can either be upright, looking at traffic, being aware of your surroundings, and then when you want to get a little bit crazy, a little bit sendy, there's enough positioning there in the seat, enough space in the front to then tuck and start riding a bit more dynamically. And so engine kind of better than expected in that it's a Trident but with more oomph to it. Handling, it's compromised. It is on a budget. The Showa system works. There's a little bit of a dive on them, but I'm just picking holes in what keeps it an appropriate price range. Same for the brakes, Triumph branded brakes, reasonably good feel. I've been doing a bit like 2-finger braking and it stops on a dime, so that's not too bad. Dash, dial, TFT stuff all makes sense. It's not the most exciting TFT package in the range, but tells me what I need to do. I really like the kind of gear indication, big fat neutral. I can flick through all the rider modes quite successfully and turn traction control off should I wish. Not particularly vibey, it's a Triumph, so it's nice and smooth. See well through the mirrors, and it looks the part as well. We've added a little bit more to the preload, so we've kind of just put it on its nose just a little bit more, just to see if that changes the handling, and that's a kind of customization that you could do with the bike to suit your riding style. And so yeah, going to have a look at what it's like for the next, have a see what it's like for the afternoon.
Let's get it on its nose. Yeah, nice. I don't think I'd want any more than this on this route. And that's us day concluded, arriving back at the hotel. And after a full day of sweeping BA road adventuring up these up through valleys and down the side of mountains, am I stiff and sore? No, not too bad. Not too bad. A little bit of an all-round ache, but you are on a sports bike, this happens. But would I be absolutely crippled if I was on an old R6? No. Still feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I've just spent 7 hours on this bike, but I want to offer the conclusion that I think it's about 4 different bikes in one, if you'll bear with me as I try and explain it. So firstly, is your kind of A2 ready rider just growing into big bike learning. This bike can be restricted down to like the 47 brake horsepower limit of what you're allowed on an A2, and you can learn and grow through this bike's handling and ergonomics and power distribution, be really happy with the triple, and then get that cap kind of pulled off when you want to go to your higher horsepower, which takes you up to like 95. So you can learn and grow with the bike. Now secondly, because of the fact that it's not a really harsh sports bike, you know, like a feisty 600, because of the ergonomics, I could happily commute to work on this and then look forward to the ride home where I'm going to have a bit of a spirited time on my favourite B roads.
And I'm now, you know, dealing with morning traffic. And it's worth noting that I'm not getting too hot. There are other bikes in this market that might suffer from that. But I can feel the bit of heat from the seat, but nothing too much. Bike's not overheating, it's performing nicely, and I'm back in this kind of happy adaptable triple range where I can, you know, be in third, just roll on and off and drive through traffic.
It lends itself quite well to that too, because the raised kind of clip-ons, seat's pretty comfortable, it's easy to move around and commute in kind of traffic conditions, and then I'm going to go and look forward to my little B road blap on the way home. Then thirdly, if I want to just hop away for a weekend, I can then kind of drive it through the accessories bin at Triumph and get a tank bag, get my panniers sorted. Clearly not a tourer, but it's comfortable enough to do, you know, a few back-to-back days with your pants, and then enjoy a little bit of the UK and maybe take it abroad just to open it up a bit. The last option, if you're absolutely adamant that you want it to be a sports bike, then you go and take it to the kind of Peter Hickman performance racing option, and then you get rid of the weight of the exhaust, you chuck clip-ons on it, you get the ECU flashed, you give it some track day fairing, and it's an absolute track day weapon then, because you can have your own suspension on it, your own tyres, and start enjoying 100 brake horsepower, which keeps the cost down tyre-wise and lets you enjoy ripping it up in the fast group, because you can on 100 brake horsepower. So with the sports bike theme that's going to come into BSB, it could be, that will lend itself well to all that kind of aftermarket parts and accessories you can get for this. And then because it's a flexible, capable engine with the like assist and slipper clutch, basically, it's just really smooth. It's just really smooth. You can't beat that with the triples. It's exactly what you're going to get. And now with the fact that it came from the Trident engine, so we're 17% more horsepower out of that. They've modified the cam profiles. They've changed the crankshaft. They've given pistons a bit of a tweak. They've machined or changed the cylinder head. They have increased the exhaust valve diameter. They've added a 3-into-1 header. And all that's done is bring more gas and more air through the engine, increase the rev range, improve combustion, and they've just got more bang for their buck out of the 660s. Now, today, the engine, as you'd expect, has been genuinely faultless. I've rammed it up and down the box, I've messed around with the gears, I've dumped the clutch, wiggled the back, and it's just moderated what I've thrown at it, and that's really, really good.
Get quite a lot of bang for your buck. I think we're on 8.5k for one of these, and you know, fresh out of the box, monthly payments, PCP for like 60 quid or something. It's one hell of a package for that kind of price.
It's ever so slightly compromised for the following reasons that probably don't really matter. You can't adjust the preload on the front or the rebound or the compression or any of the high speed options. It doesn't have any of that. The rear is just a preload adjustment, which realistically you're only going to do because you want to carry a pillion or not. So you've lost that kind of flexibility. Do you actually need any of that? No, I'm just being fussy. Although the suspension is more than capable for, you know, good road use, they've opted to have radially mounted brakes. But because they are radially mounted, you've got a much more aggressive braking system with a 4-pot calipers.
That was an instant stop.
In emergency stop territory, you've got ABS, and you've got kind of, and traction control to kind of keep you safe, which takes me on to like the rider modes. So this comes, compared to the Trident, this has 3 rider modes, which is Sport, Road and Rain. You can have quite a modulated throttle response in the rain, or you can ramp it up to Sport and see and almost like engage a different level of riding as a result. So yeah, 3 modes. What might be a little bit odd compared to other bikes in the market is the fact that it doesn't have a quick shifter.
So, point to note, I don't have the quick shifter fitted, so it is an upgraded accessory to get the blipper, the up-down kind of quick shifter. That's, I think, £245 as an extra accessory. But I'm quite like going back to kind of reversionary methods of gear changes. Keeps the price down for all the different markets this is appealing to. And if you want a nice posh blipper, you can buy it.
If you want to learn on a bike, you don't need quick shifters and blippers. Go and learn how to use the clutch properly. Go and learn how to use gear changes properly. You know, learn with the Daytona. I think that's what the message is with that. So the 660 comes in a variety of colours, and by variety I mean 3. So we've got Snowdonia White, very gleaming and glaring. It really stands out actually. And then we've got Carnival Red, and then we've got this one, which is the Satin Graphite. So let's just think about how it initially felt when I first left the hotel. So I sat on it, it's got, I think it's an 8-10mm seat height. My feet are absolutely flat on the floor, and I've got like fairly normal size legs. I could be shorter, I could be taller, I'm still going to fit. So ergonomically, it seems to have quite a good range, suit a wide range of people. You can actually get the seat height lowered by a further 25mm. So about 10 years ago, I rode the Triumph 765 Daytona. I was really new to biking at the time, and it kind of stuck with me because it was quite an aggressive experience actually. I was just taking it to get MOT'd for a friend, and it is on that feisty end of what I perhaps didn't want to be on when I was learning to ride. I think there was perhaps a lot of peer pressure on being able to get up the CCs and ride a sporty bike, but actually it wasn't that friendly a package to learn on. And I think that's what's changed about this Daytona, is that it is something that can either commute with you or you can learn and grow on in a much more accessible package than getting on a feisty 600 and not enjoying the experience. The whole point of bikes like this is to bring new riders into the market to learn that biking isn't about violence and horsepower. It's about something that's comfortable yet wants to go and play with you at the weekend when you want to. I'm really excited about this new middleweight class because I think it's going to bring a new style of riding and not compromise, but a really good balance between sport and comfort and agility and the ability to enjoy it without being in a drastic amount of pain when you come home. It's going to commute with you, it's going to grow in an A2 with you, and if you really want to be an absolute track day ninja, it'll be a weapon around any track you decide to take it.